and for Remedy, because I think that that has a little bit more usability on this map. Particularly, I think that
Yeah.
if you're able to call out those players, even though you might give away your position from calling in that vision pulse, you still can call that out, draw back, and have your teammates push up. Of course,
Yeah.
Psychosis does have benefits in that you can use those clones as a little shield if you're trying to stay alive during a particular offensive push. And that's definitely something that could be utilized overall. So it's going to be pretty even on that. The question is, with so many things on the board as far as the loadout is concerned with the weapons, what could we potentially see as far as innovating those loadouts? We've got quite a bit of perks still left to
Yeah.
be used. And of course, primarily, you most likely will see the M8A7. But the Shiva, definitely still something that could be used on a nice, large map like Fringe.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, the middle of the map is such an open and empty line of sight where obviously there's not much cover to actually be able to pick up that satellite drone. You can try all you might, but if you can't get mid-map control, you're going to lose uplink when it comes to Fringe. So it really can be a map where the Shiba can thrive. And we've seen a little bit in recent times that players have been avoiding banning or protecting the Shiva. It's sort of stayed out of the limelight for a little bit now. You see it every now and then, of course, as you do with pretty much everything, but it's become less and less popular. Then again, when it comes to a map like Fringe, as you say, and as I said, I'll reiterate that point, it is such a good weapon on this map. And it really does come down to the fact, obviously, I'm like just talking about ban and protects in general, there's so many factors that come into play when choosing what to ban and what to protect. Obviously, you want to target bans that you know your opponent are really good with. You want to target things that are going to muck you up, possibly just in the way in terms of your play style and not necessarily how well the other team uses it, but just you and your how comfortable you are with it being on the field. Then, of course, you need to worry about what sort of specialists are good in which sort of game modes, as we saw 4 of them being taken out in this one. And then, of course, the weapons. What are the opposition good with? What can I use that I'm better with, etc., etc. And really, right now, we can see some of those, like the Shiva, just taken out in a game like this. It could possibly be the difference. But then again, I'm not sure whether many players have decided to take it out, so we'll have to see.
Well, we'll have to see it as it is right now. Paranoia had himself a good fumble recovery, as I like to call it. He advances that drone very, very much inside the enemy spawn, and now Muni trying to make his way over there. And obviously that afterburner perk going to help him get that 1 point play.
Oh,
And can he get the kill to stay alive here for a possible rally? He is going to get some shots
oh.
down range, but then is able to clean it up and has an HCXD to boot as well. And all of these players opting to have their flak jacket and afterburner equipped for their perk 1, and that's really going to be a defining factor in this because they're not really opting to get those specialist weapons faster in this one.
Muni was in a really good position there. Unfortunately, he did get shut down. But when you can have both a SMG and the AR in your back pocket when you're running around the map and trying to hold down lines of sight, especially when he was trying to set up for that relay as you're talking about, it can be so effective. Here it didn't really work out for him, and we're seeing that right now. Stumpy trying to put some shots down to the player who did have the drone. I'm not sure who that was. I think it might have been America. He's going to contest him here in mid-cut, able to pick up 1 kill. There's one more around the corner, but Sean will manage to find that player. So meanwhile, that satellite drone just in the middle of tracks here, and no one really has control over it.
Muni with a beautiful grenade to get the kill with the vehicle was able to really solidify some more map control down mid. Stumpy does get taken down, and Muni is still on a little bit of a streak here. 2-0 up and has Psychosis in his back pocket, but he's going to opt to use it here to protect himself and keep this map control. So very smart plays coming in from EZG. They only lead it by 1 point, so they have to make sure they get another offensive push to end in a score. And so far, there's just trays going down all over the place, and Muni is part of that, as he is now going to fall, and that is going to be a back-and-forth battle for mid-map control.
I was looking forward to him to getting that last kill, but he didn't have enough bullets in his gun. Meanwhile, Remedies was going on a 4-kill streak. He gets shut down too, and that satellite drone is still in the middle of the map right now, though it does look like Onslaught has a little bit more map control, but Munibro with that HCXD kill is definitely going to shut down a little bit of the options for this Onslaught team as they're trying to make their way towards the opposition's base here. But there will be a bit of a Hail Mary throw coming from Anthrax. Can he make it count? And it does actually miss out on that one, so it will be reset in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, though, Onslaught, you can see on the minimap, they have complete control as America gets shut down from behind, but Sean is in a good position to grab that drone if he can. Picks up one player, another one contesting him. Picks up the drone instead, and he is going to get shut down. And now it's going to be ESG with control over it.
Oh man, that was just... It was a tough situation there for Onslaught because that player thought that he had him dead to rights, stopped shooting, then has to throw the drone, and that's going to be a counter score coming in regardless after that unnecessary game of hot potato there. But it's going to be a 1-1 tie here. Stumpy trying to play spoiler and take that possession right back over to EZG. He's going to try to slay now as he's thrown the drone down, resets the armor, and is going to try to slay again, but gets shut down. And that's going to be Muni going for the score, and will get it to connect with a carry score at that. And they're going to go back up by 2 points and that 1 possession lead.
You can see ESG at the moment, they have majority map control even with only 3 players alive here as they're able to pick up 3 kills. And that's going to leave Onslaught in tatters as Paranoia is trying to make his way with that satellite drone. It will be dropped there. In fact, I believe it might have been Stumpy instead. Remedies with that defensive play. One more onto Paranoia instead. And that is going to be a couple players now down for EZG as they're trying to respawn and recuperate. And Onslaught are able to push up pretty far in the map. We've got 1 player on this flank, and that was going to be Remedies, but he gets shut down instead. Anthrax, though, still able to pick up that drone with Sean helping him out on the way. He's going to go for just a long-range throw there. Doesn't connect, and that is going to be pretty much the half there. There is the chance for another score, but it doesn't look likely as both these teams are playing very well defensively.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And honestly, if you are Onslaught, you got to really capitalize on those 1-point throws. Make sure that you make those high percentage throws count. And of course, if you do have some breaks in the time of possession, just try to slay, throw that drone down, slay a little bit more effectively, and then pick up the drone and make a play on it. But good attempts from Onslaught nonetheless, but good stops really there to counter from EZG, and it's just a back and forth slugfest between these two teams. Of course, Onslaught is not the one who's up against the wall here. It's definitely EZG that's on match point and have to get this win to force that map forward. The question is, will they be able to do it here, Milboss? We're going to find out as the second side of play is in full effect here on Fringe.
I think one of the important things on this half is going to be that track side control, and right now EZG seem to have it, although they don't have any map control in the middle of the map. That's all Onslaught. See how far they are pushed up right now, but Munibro's little HCXD there finally going to effect, able to pick up a kill, but Anthrax is going to come out with the Tempest. He's able to get 2 kills, and Sean with 1 with his Annihilator there. America getting shut down though because Paranoia has decided to pull out his scythe. Can he get the 3rd? Not going to happen there. Remedies is able to finally pick up that kill. All 4 players though for Onslaught are alive, and looks like a throw's going to come in from Remedies. Can he make it count? Not going to happen. That's going to be in the back of the map. Munibro are going to pick this one up and possibly throw it out. We'll see what he decides to do here.
Well, Muni has to stay alive and just make sure his team has map control first for sure. That's exactly what ends up happening, but unfortunately, Remedy is right there to pick it up, so a very early reset is going to cost them some points right there, and it's a tie. That mistake that definitely comes back to bite EZG, and now they have to really regroup and make sure they can get a lead back here in this tie game.
Yeah. Anthrax set up for this relay here. The drone gets thrown to him. Can he pick it up? Struggling a little bit here. I don't know what's going on. Finally gets it. Might get shut down from behind here, but too soon. He's able to pick up that 2-point play. He's got 3 players around him. Doesn't really matter if he falls short. Able to pick up Munibro though and keep himself alive for just a little bit longer. But you can see right now it's all Onslaught with this map control. They've been able to get 2-point plays within the matter of about 10 seconds, and that's really what you need to bolster your confidence, as right now Kazmo is trying to do the work single-handedly for EZG. He does have that satellite drone, 1 player helping him out, goes for the throw, he does die, but he will connect with it instead, so reduces it to now a 1-point lead for Onslaught, which means that a 2-point play will get EZG back in the lead here. And you can see right now Paranoia once again trying to use that L-card to stop any potential players from Onslaught stopping the throw or stopping the EZG's play right now, but they still have map control, they still have drone control, and it looks like EZG could possibly get at least one more point in.
Well, it is going to be a little bit wide for that throw, and then now Stumpy trying to get in on it again, and that's a missed opportunity EZG really needed to capitalize on, as they were slaying their way over there methodically, but unfortunately, it's going to be reset, and now Onslaught is going to be in a 4-man defensive push over to mid to make sure they don't pass through, but Paranoia still slaying very effectively, now 22 and 17, setting up a nice route, but unfortunately for that drone carrier, he does get shut down. Cosmo there to pick up the drone and continue to advance it. This could potentially be a carry score, and it will go through. Now a 1-point lead for EZG.
1 minute 50 remaining here, and this is where Onslaught need to turn on the Afterburners, as the majority of them have Afterburner as their first perk choice. In fact, they all do, so that's kind of a really unnecessary pun. But with that being said, 2 more points will go in for EZG, and as much as the kills are going in favor of Onslaught right now, the scores certainly aren't, and that's what matters here in Uplink, is one more player of Sean is going to get dropped. America with a 2-piece though, one of those being Sean. And this is not really looking that good at the moment for Onslaught. They're sort of just holding back. They don't have that advanced map control that they did before. Remedy's getting shut down very easily. Cosmo right now spots out a player. Can he pick him up from behind? Knows there's a second one near him. Needs to be careful, but his teammate's going to deal with that one, as right now EZG have complete control of this game, and it looks like if it continues going the way it's going right now, it will be an EZG win, as Onslaught are just slowing down. Their defense isn't as structured as it was maybe a minute ago, and you can see on the minimap they're just sort of holding in their spawn. They don't know what to do, where to go. They can't really push out much. Remedies, as much as he's working on these 2 pieces, it's not really going to be helpful when his teammates can't stop the absolute onslaught of EZG.
Well, the main reason why that was such a delay as far as the hold on defense there was the fact that it was a delayed reset coming in from Stumpy on the top red building, and when you do that, or top brick I should say, when you reset that drone and it's so delayed that, you know, they have to try to slay out and get map control when it does come back in, it slows down the mentality of the play there, and that's exactly what ended up happening there. That's what's really going to solidify that victory for EZG, because now Sean, even if he scores this, it's not going to be enough time to get themselves the 3 points that they need to force overtime. And that's really going to be heads up by EZG. They survive in this series as they strike when they need to here, and now force a map 4. That's something they desperately needed here. They've had a Game 5 series not go their way already tonight. Now they have to try to build one game type at a time to get themselves into that defining moment in Game 5 where they could potentially come out the winning team at the end of it all. Will that happen though? That's the question, because honestly, Onslaught's playing very well. They dropped this map, but it was a hard-fought battle, only a 2-possession game there near the end. And EZG really woken up a little bit in their play. I think that they've got a lot more left in the tank.
Absolutely. I mean, the way that they play that, at certain points in that map, EZG just could not get a foot in the door. They tried as much as they could, but they were just getting pushed back so far into their base that really Onslaught had complete map control, and that's something that's really hard to attain in pretty much every game of Uplink that you play. Able to get every single lane locked down and the spawn of the opposition is something that every team strives for, but is not often accomplished. And the way that Onslaught were able to do that for a little bit, you know, that's credit to them. But then again, we will be going into this CTF where they're going to have to replicate that for the whole duration of that game. Otherwise, they might let EZG come into this one and completely turn the tides.
Well, that's what it's looking like EZG is trying to do. Remember, they have not been able to win a series tonight quite yet. They're still in first place, so they're ahead by 2 games or matches, I should say, in general. So they're still in that #1 seed, and even if they lose this one, they'll still be the #1 seed at the end of today. But it's still going to have less room for error coming up, as this week is really the final week for these teams to try to get the best seeding that they can. And of course, we'll be able to see if Onslaught can get themselves out of the slump that they've been in for the past few weeks and get themselves not only over that 500 mark of their record, but also go a little bit positive in that win-loss column.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things that you talk about. Like, you might stay on top of the table, and I agree with you there. But of course, one of the things that if you're AZG is you don't want to lose confidence in yourselves just because of the fact that you have lost two in a row.